So, hello from AAMP 2017 Spring Conference in Scottsdale. I'm here with Dr. Lindsay Adrian. Just come all the way from Canada, and you've brought your beautiful young daughter with you. Number 3, I believe.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's right.
7 months old. Grandma is here to take good care of her.
That's right, yep.
So you're from Canada, you have a lot of conferences up and around that area. You're in Scottsdale. What brought you here, Lindsay?
Well, a number of different things. Mostly just a deep clinical and personal respect for Paul Anderson, who's putting this on.
Right.
But really wanting to find something that's extremely clinically relevant for me. And so I've definitely found that in Paul's work, and I mean, we're 2 days in, and already I've had
nearly 2 days completed, but not quite of the 3-day. Has it been so far, as far as the lectures, not just Dr. Anderson, but those other speakers that he attracted, of which there were just 3? How do you think they have complemented the program?
Really very, very well. So Dr. Anderson, I really appreciate that him and yourself brought together such a great collective of individuals that bring very different approaches to some quite a wide range of interrelated topics, right? I mean, this particular one being cancer and autoimmune conditions and chronic infections. And so having the multiple approaches is very, very helpful for my practice because, of course, we all take things in just that slightly different way. But having the differing opinions and having the different approaches and how they can be really nicely incorporated, it has been fantastic so far, and I'm looking forward to more. As
far as the knowledge level is based, obviously we're setting this bar high at an advanced level. Is any of it going over your head?
Oh,
or
absolutely.
Is it really?
Absolutely. No, and I think that's important. I think it's important when you come to a conference of this level. If I'm going to a conference and I understand every word coming out of a presenter's mouth,
why come?
There's no benefit to me, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's incredibly important to be challenged and to learn new things and to have preconceived ideas shaken, because that's why I come. That's what's so exciting for me, to come to a place like this and to engage in that collaborative learning and to that segue.
So many conferences that I've been involved in, just on the MC level, the organization level, but talking to the doctors, there's always that feeling that you learn a lot, you absorb probably saturation point, too much, and then you get back to your clinic on a Monday morning, and it's that question, how much of that theory, how much of that scientific discovery, even though you've heard the case studies, picked up the protocols, putting it into practice with patients, where do you see that as far as this conference is concerned?
Well, again, I mean, we're at day 2, and so far already, there are very, very clinically relevant and very immediately applicable solutions that I've discovered, and I understand, and what I've seen thus far is that this conference builds on itself. The way that you've organized this with the 4 speakers as opposed to many dozens of speakers means that I can learn more foundational, and it's advanced foundational, but it's foundational knowledge in that first day. And then today, being the second day, being able to incorporate a little more clinical practice to that foundational knowledge. And what I understand that I can expect hopefully for tomorrow is building even further on not just clinical practice strategies, but integration of all of these various strategies, and how we've learned the integration of the causative factors. We can now get into some of the integration of the clinical treatment.
And of course, the object of the exercise is to support you after the conference, as you know, and the live webinars that we intend to do, the follow-up. So as you put that into practice, things that work, things that need some input from whether it's Dr. Anderson or other members of the team, it's going to be there for you, which I'm sure will play a nice part.
It will, yes.
In that follow-up.
Well, and I mean, a huge thing is that I come to a conference and I'll learn a new strategy, and let's say 5 times out of 10, I implement that strategy and the outcome is kind of what I expect. But 5 times out of 10, it's not. And so I'm looking forward to being able to have that kind continued interaction.
Well, interaction was key to us. We've had individual Q&As, we've had panel discussions with the expert. How have you felt about those? Has it been beneficial at the end of those lectures to have those Q&A sessions?
Absolutely, and I think one of the things that is very beneficial about having the four-person speaking schedule and seeing those same speakers multiple times throughout the multiple days is that as I'm learning a new concept and I'm integrating these things that I'm learning into my prior knowledge and into clinical scenarios that I've been in, I may not come up with a question immediately following the initial lecture, but I have the opportunity to ask questions that do come up as I've integrated my knowledge later on, and I definitely appreciate that.
So as we look around the room here, we're on the afternoon break. We love to nourish our delegates and make them feel energized and refreshed and raring to go. So we very much practice a healthy option menu, as you know, with gluten-free and vegetarian organic options. We're only at the end, towards the end of day 2. How's the food been for you so far?
It's been absolutely fantastic, and you know, there's nothing more disappointing than coming out of a really great lecture and being a bit peckish and going to the table and seeing nothing but muffins and sugar-filled, carbohydrate-laden, you know, not at all nourishing foods. And so it's been such a fantastic experience to be able to come, and all of our meals and all of our snacks have been very high nutrient dense foods, high nutritious foods, and it leaves me energized as opposed to getting that sugar crash, you know, and trying to fall asleep at my seat.
We're very passionate about getting the food right. You obviously, with your fellow delegates, met the chef today, who is very proud of what he's been presenting, so that's very much the flavor that we set. But we thank you for coming to this conference. We hope to see you again in the near future, and enjoy the rest of your time with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks.